Hey yo everyone, and welcome to a new video. So today we will be talking about the latest update on the Safari, which is the Mist Forest. Over here on the Mist Forest, which requires like around 3 million power to start clearing these things, we have like new stuff like advanced fusion cards and also some powders, some green energy powders, some blue powders, purple and also orange powders. So in this video, I'll be telling you guys what are all of these things for, what can you use them, and also I will tell you guys what is the best way to raid this, because I have done some drop testings, I have it over here, I have it's a bunch of stuff, okay? You guys might be scared looking at like so much stuff right now, but don't worry, I will explain all of this in the process during the video. So, first of all, what are those fusion cards for? Well, the first usage is like just like normal fusion cards. You can use it over here on your Pokemon. Each of these fusion cards give you 1000 experience. 1000 for each fusion card, which is a lot because the normal fusion cards only give you like 40. And I can show you like something like which is like a very common question, which is like, okay, now we have the advanced fusion cards, how can we use the old fusion cards? And the short and sad reply to that is that you can't unless you spend the new advanced fusion cards. So in other words, in order to use the old ones that you already have, first you have to spend the new ones, and then only then is when you can spend the old ones that you already had. And as you can see, each one is giving you, it's not even giving you 40, it's giving you 20 for each card. So my bad on that. So each of these fusion cards is giving you 20, not 40. And as you can see, it's a massive difference. So obviously these new fusion cards, as soon as you have enough power to start raiding them, you should start raiding them to power up your Pokemon. But now let's get into the second part about these powders. What are they for and what they can be used for? So when your Pokemon reaches level 100, not level 100, I'm sorry, I mean level 40 fusion. When your Pokemon reaches level 40 fusion, you unlock a new thing over here, which is a new talent ability. These talent abilities, they have like 5 different talents that you can have on your Pokemon, or 5 different abilities, whatever you want to call them. So, but you can have up to 5 different things. So each row, for example, this one has 3 different ones, but you can only choose one to have on your Pokemon. When you unlock it, so I'm gonna show you guys an example of a Pokemon with it unlocked. So when you unlock one, you are free to change at any time that you want with no cost. So if you don't, you try with this one. If you don't like it, you can try with this one, for example. So, but for example, one thing that I can say, it's this one says in battle, physical defense, special defense, and speed 8%. This translation over here is wrong because it gives you physical attack, special attack, and speed 8% in battle. So this one is the best one for me to use. You guys can try between the other ones, but pretty sure this one is the best for everybody. Anyways, moving on. So you have 5 skills, you have to unlock them. As you can see, like if I want to unlock my next skill, I need 35 of the blue energy powder and 100 fusion cards. And I do have everything over here as well so that you guys can see. So, let's go back. You guys can see that we have 5 skills, and that is the order that I have it over here. So let me just zoom in a little bit. So as you can see, first skill, you need 20 of the green powder and only 50 fusion cards. On the second skill, you already need 35 of the blue powder and 100 fusion cards. On skill number 3, you need 50 of the purple and 150 fusion cards. And now let's go to the last 2 skills, which are the most expensive, obviously. So on the skill number 4, you need 70 of the orange powder and 200 of the fusion cards. But to finally get the skill number 5, you need 150 orange powder. and 300 fusion cards. So that's a lot of resources, that's a lot of things that you would need to farm. So because of this solo reasons, like this is something that it will require you to farm so much to finally unlock all the skills. I advise everybody who reaches like level 40 fusion power or fusion level, I'm sorry, only try to unlock these skills on your main Pokemon, on your attackers. Of course, it might be beneficial on some Pokemons to have this one in battle 8% speed, so if you have like a buffer or whatever, the in battle 8% speed might help you out, because it's kinda cheap, right? Like, at least the first one is kinda cheap, but it gets pretty expensive for the other ones, so only unlock the other ones on your main Pokemon, right? On your main attackers. But now moving on to the main question of the video. What is the best way to farm them? How can I farm them for my Pokemon in order to spend like the least amount of resources possible? So I have done some testings over here, some raid testings. I'm gonna show you guys this. You guys will understand this very quickly if you guys just pay attention and do not be scared. So basically, I was on the dev account, so the alternate account which has a lot of resources to test with, and I started with these items over here. So these, let me see, these over here are the starting items. So I started with 712 cards, 15 oranges, 20 purples, 51 blues, and 67 greens. And what I've done, as you guys can see, these are the Safari raids, the Safari missions that we can go and find over here. And like we scroll down all the way down, and these are the Safari raids. I took screenshots of all the Safari raids that we can see over here. And each one, as you can see over here, each one has a different cost of raiding. So we have to keep that in mind when we are trying to calculate the best thing possible. What I have done is I raided each one 100 times. So each level, each difficulty, I raided 100 times. But we have to keep in mind, if I am raiding 100 times, the B rarity costs 700 VIT, right? It does cost, if we go to the game, we can see over here as well, it costs 700 VIT. And we have to take that in consideration. So 700 times, if I raid this 100 times, right, it means that I will spend in total of 7,000 VIT. So I do keep all that in mind. So with 700, with 100 raids, let's just say it that way. With 100 raids, I got a total. Let me just zoom in so that you guys can see a little bit better. Hopefully, good enough. Oh my god, this is way too much. But yeah, you guys can see here the rarity of the Safari that I'm talking about. These are the amount of items that I got for 100 raids. But since this is a 7,000 VIT, I needed to try to get a way of calculating which is the best way possible. So basically, this is a ratio. What is the ratio? This is basically the amount of items that I would get for each 100 VIT spent. So this is just a formula that you guys can even see over here, up here. This is basically a formula that will calculate how many items that I will get for each 100 VIT that I spend. So in other words, the bigger this number, the better this Safari is to raid for the item that we want. So basically, we have 2.48 cards for each 100 VIT, and we have a lot of 0.52 of the green things, of the green powders. This is on the B Safari, right? We go and scroll down to the A mission, as we can see, and compared to the mission above, our number on the fusion cards is increasing, which basically means like the highest the rarity. I'm going to put this a little bit of a less zoom. The highest the rarity, as you guys can see, this ratio is increasing, which means if you are just trying to farm for fusion cards, just try to raid the biggest one possible. This would be logical, but hey, it's a Pokeland Legends. We have to test out stuff to make sure that things are working as they are supposed to, okay? But yeah, if your goal is to raid for fusion level and raid the most possible, just try to get always the biggest possible with the 4 stars, of course, so that you can get the most out of it. But if your goal is to only unlock the skills, you probably only care about these new items. And this is where we start talking about the other ratios. Of course, on the B rarity, on the B mission, B Safari, I don't know, you guys understand. On the B, we have a high ratio of greens, and if we go on the A, we have a lower ratio of greens. I mean, that's okay. Even if we go to the S, we are still dropping greens. Even though on the S, as you can see, on the S over here, we only have purple and blue, but on the S, we are still dropping greens. But on the double S, we don't drop greens anymore. So we need to take that into consideration. But what I do advise is the amount of greens that we need is something very low. We only need 20, and then we need 35 blue and 50 purple. So the number is always increasing for the bigger the rarity of the... Oh my god. Okay, the number is always increasing for the bigger of the rarity of the powders. So we don't really need to be... like, we don't need to rush the greens. Because if you rush greens, there's no point on rushing greens. You can just raid the S1 and you get greens, you start getting blues as well, and you also start getting purples. So you're basically already farming for 3 levels at the same time. So what I do advise people to do is you start farming for your greens. Imagine that you just care about 1 or 2 Pokemons. You need to take in consideration how much greens you need. So for example, if you are trying to farm for 2 Pokemons, for 2 main attackers, you need 40 greens. So I would raid S Safari until I have 40 greens. The moment I have 40 greens, I stop raiding as Safari. I don't need this anymore, and I go to the next one. Keep in mind that while we are raiding for greens, we are also raiding for the blues and purples. So basically, when we get here with enough greens, we already have a bunch of blues and purples. But now we have to pay attention to the blue, because the triple S, I mean, does not drop blue. The triple S only drops orange and purple. So basically, then we get enough greens, right? And we go to the double S. On the double S, we need to pay attention to the blues. So taking the same example, imagine that we are trying to boost 2 main Pokemon. So each Pokemon needs 35 blues, which means the moment you have 70 blues, it's enough for 2 Pokemon. So we are going to raid double S until we already have 70 blues. And from that moment, the moment you finally reach your 70 blues that you only need for your main Pokemon, is when you start raiding triple S. Triple S will give you more oranges so that you can be ready for the later levels of your Pokemon, and also give you a little bit less purples, but it's okay. As you can see, the ratio of the purples on the last one is a little bit lower, but it's okay because we only need 50 purples, and we will need a total of 220, right? We need 220 of the oranges, so that's okay. We don't need to rush the purple, we don't need to rush the other colors. Just play it slowly so that you can start farming orange, and you get there with less resources spent. So yeah, I hope you guys did understand. Basically, it's just like if I explain again, is like Raid S until you have enough green. Raid SS until you have enough blue. Once you have enough green and blue, just raid the triple S and you are done. That's basically it. That's the fastest explanation possible. But of course, I do like to explain all the process so that you guys don't think you're being thieved and stuff. You guys can see all the numbers over here between testings. So for those who are interested in these kinds of stuff, so these are the starting items. Then I raid 100 times and I see the greens that I have and the fusion cards that I have. I raid 100 more times and I see the items. Okay, you guys get the point. For those who are interested in those statistics, you have all the numbers over here. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope it helps you out, and I hope you guys spend less of it now trying to farm those items. And yeah, as usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next video.